Welcome back to the Big Saturday Show. Tonight, the sudden tragic death of a 10th grader in Connecticut is raising questions about the safety of high school ice hockey. Teddy Balkind was playing in a game Thursday night when the deadly accident occurred. The local police captain saying, quote, a player from the other team who fell to the ice, and there was another player who was near the downed player. He was unable to stop and collided with the player who fell. A skate cut Balkind's neck. The local community and the hockey community writ large in mourning now, with professional players posting photos of their hockey sticks on social media under the hashtag #SticksOutForTeddy in tribute. And this is just an unimaginably sad, tragic story, guys, obviously. Jimmy, you're a parent. You're also a sports fan. How does this story hit you?
This is a really challenging thing to tackle, man, because as a parent, you understand that they're going through some unimaginable anguish. And I think what happens to a lot of people in this situation is the story makes you feel so helpless that we start looking around for some type of a villain, some type of, rule or regulation we can scrutinize, because it makes it feel like there's something we can be doing here to, avenge the way we feel and avenge the way not only this poor kid's parents feel, but even the kid who skated into him, who obviously didn't get on the ice looking for this to ensue. And it really is difficult because it's youth sports and there is an inherent risk to playing them. That being said, this is not something that anyone ever signed up for, bargained for, or dreamed that could happen. So you do hope, we take a closer look at this. I don't know that there's going to be a solve because this is such a 1 in a trillion tragedy. And I think that's the most heartbreaking part for all of us is there's not a lot we can do other than hopefully step up the way a lot of these professional teams have by posting photos. That was, heartening. You got professional teams like the Rangers and the Devils and, of course, non-professional teams like the Islanders. But the point is, it was nice to see people acknowledge this.
Yeah, and Alicia, you look at the photos of this kid, so much life, his whole life stretching out in front of him, and then it ends in an instant, and it really is a freak accident, right? There's no avoiding this. This is a fast sport. This is a contact sport. This is unbelievably unlikely to occur, and I understand the instinct for some people to say, well, maybe we need to tighten up some of the rules, or maybe this isn't safe. There are thousands of hockey games played every single day. This type of thing is making news because it's so rare. You're also a parent. How do you grapple with some of these emotions and some of these considerations?
You said exactly what I say to my kids when I'm trying to explain something that is so incredibly tragic and it just defies the imagination. You can't really even imagine that it would happen, is that what I tell mine, because I have teenagers at home. I'm a parent to 3 10th graders, the same grade as Teddy. And what I tell them is this is on the news because it is so rare. This is not something that happens all the time. That does not help in any way the heartbreak that this family and this community is experiencing. From a broader perspective, it is incredibly rare. And it's so hard. Sports does come with inherent risks. That's just the nature of sports. And every now and then, our hearts break.
Yeah, and I'm a big hockey fan. Hockey players are known to be a very close-knit community, which is why you're seeing this outpouring, including from some of these professional franchises. And Lisa, Jimmy touched on this a little bit. Of course, our hearts go out to Teddy's family. I mean, you just truly cannot imagine. There also, I think, has to be some rallying around whoever the kid was who had this accident, who caused it. It's not his fault. This was never anyone's intent. But my goodness, that will be with that individual, that young man, for the rest of his life, too.
No, that's such a good point. And look, they're 10th graders, so these guys are babies. And Teddy's dad was in attendance, so praying for him and his family as well. I can't even imagine that. And look, anytime we have tragedy, the natural response is, well, what can we have done to prevent it? What can we do in the future? And unfortunately, with freak accidents like this, sometimes there's nothing we can do. And that's almost the hardest conclusion to come to. My understanding is even wearing, a neck guard doesn't prevent from lacerations. And as was previously pointed out, sports, there's inherent risk. I played field hockey. I've been hit in the head with field hockey balls. I tore my ACL playing lacrosse, but then alternatively, I've slipped in the shower and gotten a concussion. So life is full of risk. Sports are full of risk. And sadly, I don't think there was much that could have been done to prevent this. But as we should all pray for his family, pray for the young man who, was involved in this. And as you pointed out, I just cannot imagine having to go through that in life. 10th grade is so young. So just praying for everyone involved in this. It's really sad.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got to leave it there.